So in the past few lessons, we've been working on a template. We've added in the navigation bar, and now that we've added in the navigation bar, we realize that, wow, this navigation bar is actually overlapping our header information. So we can barely see that we've got some text there, and it's overlapping. So what we want to do is, and the fix for this is very straightforward and easy. So we're just going to open up our code and we're going to add in some padding at the top, so body padding. And what this will do is this is going to shift that entire set of content down. And when we refresh it, we see that now we have that space again. And if you remember on an earlier section, we were looking at the amount of space for a container within BootStrap. And we saw, I believe that it was 50 pixels by default. So we wanted to set our body padding, our top padding, somewhere over that. So 70 gave us a little bit of a buffer here between the content, and it kind of works well with our content layout. So we're just going to keep it at 70, and that's a quick tip on how to fix your navigation bar overlap. Additionally, we had added in some text here, some header text some H1 text in the header. So if you're familiar with HTML, you're familiar with H1. And what BootStrap does is it actually resets its typography sizes. So they are going to be slightly different, or they might be slightly different than what you're used to within regular HTML. And you see that headings are size of 36 pixels. H2s are 30, H3s are 24, and so on, all the way down. And here we also have, to create a lighter text that's generic, we can do small. So what this does is, or you could just add the tag small. So either way, you could bold that out and do a small. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to do a new div class equals small, and then we're going to have some more text, and then close that div up. And when we refresh it, go back to our example, we see that we have some small text there by default. So those are your options with using small as well within your styling. And then there's also some options here for typography within the paragraphs. So you can do a lead and a whole bunch of other options. Standard stuff here, HTML, where you do the strike through, deleted text, underline. So if you've worked with HTML, you should be familiar with all of this as well. Italics, and as well as alignment. So within BootStrap, that they've actually built in these text alignment options, which is another great option here when you're working with BootStrap, that this is already pre-done. So a lot of times you'd have to go in, you'd have to create a CSS class to align some text or to make some adjustments, and it's already set and ready to go within BootStrap, which is great when you're using BootStrap. You've also got wrapping, justifying. So these are fairly standard classes, but it is really good to have. So let's say I've had this one and I realized, wow, I want my title to be capital. I don't want it to be lowercase. So to capitalize, again, it's as easy as adding a class and customizing what you want to output. We did the capitalizing of the words, and we also applied it to this smaller footer area. We can do them all to uppercase. So let's say we do want to have our header to be uppercase, but we'll just keep it capitalized. And what capitalize does is it just puts the first letter of each word as a capital. So that's all that's doing within that code. And we can see that it's so easy to work with BootStrap. That's already thought of and built in the classes.